So I just wanted to create a quick video on how you can create your own custom billboards for Lumion. So they already have in their people library a bunch of 2D people here, and they have about 6 pages of them. But I found that if you're doing a lot of projects, then you get really tired of using the same people, and they're not always applicable to the scenario that you are trying to populate. So I have actually created my own folder of billboard people, and I'll just show you what that looks like. So on my imported models area in my imported models library, I have created a folder called Billboards, and within that I have a whole bunch of extra people. I have quite a few pages of people for different scenarios. Right now I have 15, but I have many more to keep populating in here. And I do this because oftentimes I need specific people doing specific things for a view, or I need them to be appropriate for the season. So one thing that Lumion really lacks is winter people. So I've kind of created a lot of my own winter billboards that I use in my views, and also a lot of children and play elements and things like that. So it's just really useful to know how to put these together. So what you need is Photoshop and Sketchup and Lumion. If you don't have Sketchup Pro, you could use the free version online. It should work just fine. So the first thing you need is a PNG image. And the thing to understand is that you want to use images that have their feet on approximately the same ground plane. Because if you notice in our view here, these guys' feet, they're a little bit off from the ground plane, and some of their feet are like kind of going inside the ground. Now that's totally fine if you're looking at them from like far away, you're not really going to notice. But if you're up close and the people's feet are kind of buried into the sand like this, then you will notice that if they're in the foreground. So the best way to avoid any foot weirdness is to just choose images that have approximately the same ground plane here. So I'm going to take this and actually just put their feet down to the ground level here. And you can get really picky about this. I'm just going to separate these two figures and move this parent down so that her feet are also touching the ground. So I could actually, I'm just going to undo that for a sec. I'm going to cut, so I'm going to go Control X and then go Shift Control V, which is paste in place. And now I can actually put her just underneath the child. Her left foot is also on the same ground plane as the child's foot. And that's not going to make such a big difference that this is a little bit off. So I'll just delete that piece, and now you can't even tell. So now this is perfect. I'm going to join this back together using Control J, and we want their feet to be on the bottom line of the Photoshop file, because this is going to be the 0 point for the billboard. We don't want them floating up here, because then the import point is going to be here and they're always going to be floating above. So I just want to make sure we bring them down to the ground. And then I will save that PNG. And now I'm going to go into SketchUp, and I'm in meters. I have a scale figure here already that I don't need, so I'll just delete her. And then I'm going to use the pencil tool to draw a line from the origin up on the blue axis to approximately 1.65 meters. And I'm just putting in the length over here. So I will re-enter it, 1.65, enter. And you can see it draws a line. So I'll just press Escape to get out of my command. And now I'm going to go File, Import. And I will navigate to where my graphic is. And now I'll place it at the origin there, and you can see that their feet are right on the red line. So I'm going to scale them up a little bit, and then I'm going to use the rotation tool here. And now I can scale this. So I'm just going to scale it down to the size of my line, which I can see is right there, and make sure these people are hitting approximately where that line is. So this is 1.65, so I'm just going to scale it up maybe just a tad so that her eye level is there. That looks about right to me. And now I'm going to move these people using the move tool, and I'm just going to take their middle point and set it to the very center of SketchUp at the crux of all the axes. And now, making sure that line isn't selected, it's just the PNG that we have selected, I'm going to go File, Export, 3D Model, and I'm going to save it as a collada file. So I will remember to name it Family Yellow Raincoats and export it. And in Lumion, I can go to my imported models and go to Place, and I'm going to go to Import. I will navigate to my file. Here I have the DAE file that I saved from SketchUp, and I'll go Open. And here's where I can choose to put it into a specific category. So I'm going to put it into Billboards right there and click OK. If you don't have a Billboards folder, you can create one. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the folders, it will say create a new folder, and you can create one there. So here's my people, and I'm going to place them anywhere. Then I'm going to go to the materials picker and click on this as a material, and I'm just going to click on Billboard. And now it is applied as a billboard material in Lumion, and I can change my camera to go anywhere I want, and the people will follow. So this is like a super easy way, and it works for people. It also works really well for trees. So I'm going to demo a tree next. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to do the process again.